Tonight, a bid to stop a large new housing development from going ahead in Carlsbad Springs falls at City Hall.
When the table is set, that is not a table that the legitimate communities are going to be a part of.
Why the Tewin site has been so controversial. When the well runs dry.
They've assisted in emergency situations like the floods and the tornadoes, and my community never asks for help, and right now we're asking for help.
Showers and drinking water suddenly become luxuries. Why some Ottawa residents are in crisis and asking the city for help. And this story has a real nice ring to it.
It's nice to see that there's still some people like that around.
An incredible follow-up after we told viewers about a heartbreaking distraction theft.
This was our opportunity of just doing something special for her.
And one local business took action. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. A child is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a dump truck. This happened around 3:40 this afternoon on Presslin Road near Lola Street in Overbrook. We have a live look at the scene where there is a large emergency response tonight. Just moments ago in this shot, you could see a dump truck at the scene. It did just drive away. Paramedics say the child under 10 years old was critically injured. There are road closures in the area. We will bring you the very latest updates as they become available. Well, a failed last-ditch effort to halt a controversial housing development in the city's East End. A city committee voting today to keep the proposed Tewin development in Ottawa's official plan despite opposition. The plan would see 15,000 homes built on a massive plot of land near Carlsbad Springs, south of Leitrim Road and north of Thunder Road, right near Highway 417. CTV's Leah Larock joins us now with more on this. Leah.
Well, Patricia, everyone at City Hall today agrees that the city needs to build more homes as quickly as possible. But a committee hearing from nearly 20 delegates as well as city staff debated a lot more, including where those homes should be built and who owns the land.
Carlsbad Springs has been home for Monica Brewer for 50 years.
It's true country living.
Instead of trees, her backyard about to become tens of thousands of homes.
45,000 people is going to be put right on top of us. It basically removes the rural way of life.
Developer Taggart and the Algonquins of Ontario want to build homes on 440 hectares in the rural southeast end.
All of the existing financial pressures the city is facing.
At City Hall, a last-ditch effort to stop the Tewin development because of concerns such as lack of transit, the cost of infrastructure, and long-term maintenance.
Nobody believes that Tewin's going to pay for Tewin when it's so far out, and transportation will always be an issue.
It isn't just about building more homes and where they should be built. That is at the heart of this debate at City Hall. But it's also about who owns that land, who was consulted, and who is going to pay for them.
What, in your opinion, would be a respectful way for the committee to move forward today?
Ideally, abandoning the whole project would be good, but I leave that up to you because I can't force people's hands.
The Algonquin Anishinaabe First Nation Tribal Council opposes Tewin. The Algonquins of Ontario support the project, but they are not recognized by the federal government.
It's shocking. Like to say that the AOO are not I guess a rights-bearing Algonquin entity is, in my opinion, totally wrong.
Chair Brown?
No.
Chair Leeper?
Yes.
After hours of debate and questioning, the effort failed. The project will move forward. Taggart says they remain fully committed to advancing Tewin in a way that delivers sustainable growth, meaningful reconciliation, and lasting benefits.
So the developers and the city will continue with planning and the next steps. Now, this project is still in its early days. Shovels are not even in the ground, and it will be years from anyone moving into the Tewin development. Patricia.
CTV's Leah Larock live for us tonight. Thank you. We do have extended coverage of the proposed Tewin development and what it could change for the city and taxpayers. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, many Ottawa parents are hoping to come face-to-face with the supervisor overseeing the city's largest school board for the first time tonight. Some people have raised concerns about a lack of accountability and transparency since the province appointed Robert Plamondon and stripped Ottawa Carleton District School Board trustees of their power. Tonight's parent committee meeting could be a chance to have their questions answered. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now with the details. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, this board meeting is just getting underway right now, and for Plamondon, it's really the first parent involvement committee meeting that he's expected to attend this year. One of his first moves as the school board supervisor was canceling the controversial elementary program review last week. That has left questions for a lot of parents, and tonight is really for the first time for most of them the chance that they'll have to hear directly from him. However, it's not exactly clear if he'll be able to answer any of those questions from parents, some of whom say they've tried to contact him multiple times. Trustees are also there tonight. Here's what one of them had to say ahead of the meeting.
It's very concerning. I mean, tonight he has no choice but to be here. I've attended 2 special education advisory committees, and really that's the committee he needs to go to, because there's a lot of anxious people, a lot of anxious parents wondering what his plan is as far as special education goes.
Blackburn adds she has only had one opportunity to speak with Mr. Plamondon since July. Now, normally members of the public and media would be able to watch these meetings online, but the province ordered an end to those live streams just recently. Patricia.
CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it is something most of us don't think twice about, turning on the tap and water flowing out. But in parts of rural Ottawa, wells are running dry and families are being forced to live without running water. CTV's Caitlin Wilson was out speaking with residents today and joins us live with more on this. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, a growing number of rural residents are running out of well water, and with no clear end in sight, many are now calling on the city to step in.
At Julianne Dickey's house in Marathon Village near Kinburn, water is a rare commodity. Every flush takes a bucket. Every meal means hauling jugs, and every load of laundry is a 20-minute drive away.
It's getting very expensive. We're ordering jugs of water every 2 weeks. That's over $100. The laundromat is $50 to $60 per week.
After a summer of little rain, her well ran dry, and she's not alone. Across rural Ottawa, many have been living with little to no water for weeks.
Right now I'm trickling, and I flush once a day, and like this kind of stuff. But kind of way to live.
I've been using my pool water for about 6 weeks to flush the toilets.
My neighbor next door has to borrow from us, and we don't know how long that will last.
Conservation authorities have declared level 3 low water advisories across the region, urging rural residents to avoid non-essential use as groundwater levels hit record lows.
When I need water for the toilet, that's the only thing we're getting water from at the house right now.
In Cumberland, Colleen Loken's well ran dry more than a week ago, and she says the wait to drill deeper could be 6 months or longer.
They were getting about 40 requests a week because of dried wells. You don't realize how important water is to you until you really lose it.
Although private wells fall to the homeowner, the city is offering showers and water filling at its facilities, but residents say that's not enough.
I think they should help us with getting some water delivery out here for us. We shouldn't have to be paying for it.
And with no clear end in sight, back at Dickey's, she says it's not just her well drying up, but her wallet as well.
They've assisted in emergency situations like the floods and the tornadoes, and my community never asks for help, and right now we're asking for help.
And rain is expected across the region as early as this weekend, but given the lack of rain we've had this summer and into the fall, it may not be enough to refill the wells. Patricia?
Imagine watching the weather with that kind of stress. Unbelievable. Caitlin, thank you. CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight.
Still ahead, a full circle moment she will always remember at a local business, turning a tough loss into something incredibly special. That story coming up.
Well, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. 10 degrees out there right now. I would say today, Jackie, was one of those quintessential crisp fall days. We had some sunshine, that nice chill in the air, very fresh feeling. So if you love fall, today's probably one of the days that you really enjoy.
Yeah, and I want to talk about how beautiful it is right now, but with the sun setting, we can tell that it is getting a lot cooler. So you definitely want to have that jacket as the night gets, or the days get much shorter and the evening comes much quicker. So taking a look at temperatures, 7 degrees for 9 o'clock. So if you are out and about, it is going to be quite chilly. We're getting to overnight lows about 2-3 degrees, and then yeah, it's going to be a cool start for our morning at 2 degrees and sunshine, and then we're only getting to a daytime high about 12 degrees. The good news is we are anticipating lots of sunshine and clear skies for our Thursday and into our Friday. Taking a look at temperatures across the region, Pembroke 11 degrees, Bancroft sitting at 10 degrees. Along the Seaway as well, temperatures are sitting at 12 degrees. We will have a look at your long-term forecast, and again, we are looking at clear conditions. By the time the weekend rolls around, we are anticipating some widespread rain moving through. We'll have those details and more in a bit. Patricia.
All right, thank you. Well, police are investigating an overnight shooting in Centertown that left a man with life-threatening injuries. Officers were called to a house on Somerset Street West near Kent Street around 1:35 a.m. A man was found at the scene with gunshot wounds. He was brought to hospital in critical condition. Investigators were at the scene for much of the day, combing the area for evidence. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Guns and Gangs Unit. We're learning new details tonight about 2 suspicious fires in the township of Edwardsburg, Cardinal. The first broke out around 4 a.m. at a house on Adelaide Street in Cardinal. Police say the home was gutted in the blaze. A man allegedly stole one of the fire department's pickup trucks and fled the scene before crashing into another vehicle. A second fire was reported a short time later at the fire station in Cardinal. A 40-year-old man from there is now facing several charges. Well, turning now to a major development in the labor dispute impacting colleges across the province. The two sides reaching a deal, officially putting an end to the strike. More than 10,000 support staff walked off the job more than a month ago. The union confirming those picket lines will come down today and employees will return to work tomorrow. The details of the tentative agreement were shared with members but have not been made public. Union members are voting on that deal in the coming weeks. Meantime, another labor dispute is threatening to disrupt transit services in Gatineau.
Now we just need to agree on the terms. Is it exactly what they asked for? But it's collective bargaining, so that's why we need to bargain around it.
Around 50 unionized supervisors are set to walk off the job Monday if a new contract is not reached by then. The STO says wages and job security are some of the main sticking points. If workers do go on strike, bus service will grind to a halt across Gatineau. Worrying news for many commuters.
I need my STO bus pass in order to get to the doctor, to get my groceries, you name it, all my appointments. And now what am I going to do? I'm not rich.
I mean, I don't have money to take an Uber every day or go place to place. Like, that would honestly really affect me.
I think it's an essential service, and with my bus pass, I have my freedom.
STO supervisors have been without a contract since 2023. Well, Donald Trump's trade war is once again hitting Canada's auto sector hard. Stellantis announcing plans to pack up production of the Jeep Compass in Brampton, Ontario, and move it to Illinois. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on how the federal government is responding.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly wouldn't specify exactly how, but the federal government is considering legal action against Stellantis.
We will make sure that we push the company and we hold them to account.
A letter from Melanie Joly to the company's CEO identifies legally binding commitments the car company made in the past as part of a deal with Canada and Ontario.
We've invested millions of dollars in that facility based on the commitment that they would be investing in a new model. And so that's why, if they don't do so, we'll hold them to account.
Ontario's premier is also digging in.
I'm not going to give them a penny because it was tied in to making sure Windsor and keep Brampton going.
Doug Ford says the head of Stellantis told him yesterday they were going to find a new model for the Brampton plant and move 1,500 workers to the one in Windsor. In a statement, Stellantis said Canada is very important to us, adding, "We have plans for Brampton and will share them upon further discussions with the Canadian government." But Doug Ford believes the car company is shifting $13 billion in investment to the U.S. because of trade uncertainty triggered by President Donald Trump.
That guy, President Trump, he's a real piece of work. You know something? What my message to the Prime Minister when I meet him on Thursday is if he can't get a deal, let's start hitting him back.
Canadian vehicles to grow our auto industry.
Prime Minister Mark Carney campaigned on standing up to Trump. However, in recent months, Canada has removed most counter tariffs on U.S. products, except steel, aluminum, and autos. In a post on social media, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre claimed the Prime Minister sold out workers and let their jobs move to the U.S. The minister responsible for trade with the U.S., Dominic LeBlanc, returned to Washington on Monday. He's working with Canadian negotiators to continue talks with their American counterparts on trade. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, the news about Stellantis comes as Canada and U.S. officials resume trade negotiations in Washington. CTV News confirming Minister Dominic LeBlanc is back in Washington for more meetings, along with Michael Sabia, the clerk of the Privy Council. LeBlanc has previously stated he hopes for progress on sectoral deals with the United States before the formal review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement begins next year. Turning now to the Middle East and the efforts to maintain the fragile ceasefire agreement in the Israel-Hamas war. Israel says the Red Cross has received the remains of 2 more hostages overnight. 4 other bodies were returned by Hamas, but Israeli authorities said one was not that of a hostage. The return of all hostages, living and dead, was part of the ceasefire deal brokered by President Trump. Trucks loaded with aid were seen moving across the southern Gaza Strip today. The Egyptian Red Crescent said at least 400 vehicles carrying food, fuel, and medical supplies were bound for the territory. Israel has resumed preparations to open the main Rafah crossing. It had threatened to continue barring entry, saying Hamas was returning bodies too slowly. An Israeli official said that 600 aid trucks would go in. The United Nations says that will not be enough to meet the scale of the need. I'll stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the ongoing ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel at any hour. Well, the Toronto Blue Jays are looking to battle back against the Mariners tonight. Game 3 of the ALCS gets underway in less than 2 hours in Seattle after the Jays lost the first 2 games of the series at home. The good news is they will have thousands of fans cheering them on in the stands.
Little nervous. Fingers crossed for today, though. I have faith in them.
But you still feel good?
I do. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I feel happy. Yeah.
Are we calling a win tonight?
Hopefully, yeah.
We're pretty excited. This is our first game that I'm taking her to.
The last 2 games, they just didn't have their bats quite on. They just need to score some more runs.
Many traveled across the border from Vancouver into Seattle by car. Others took a special ferry added for fans making the trip south. And CTV's Andrew Johnson has also made that trip to Seattle. Joins us live from T-Mobile Park, the home of the Mariners. And thanks for being here. Safe to say Jays fans there and here know exactly what is at stake. No one wants to see this team go down 3-0.
No one wants to see that, Patricia, and there are a lot of Jays fans here. It's only about a 2.5-hour drive down the I-5 from Metro Vancouver. Traditionally, during some Mariners home games, there will be more Jays fans here than Mariners fans. That may be not the case today with the difficulty of obtaining playoff tickets if you're not in the home market. But the Blue Jays fan force is strong in the stands, and they'll admit to being worried today, but they are all very hopeful to avoid that 0-3 deficit, even down 0-2 in a best-of-7. Major league teams, more than 80% don't manage to come back from that. The fans here are certainly hoping the Jays can buck that. They'll need a big performance offensively. Those bats have been largely silent through the first 2 games of this series at Rogers Center after the offense was chugging along just fine during the Yankees versus the Yankees in the divisional series. They've gone quiet now. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and other bats need to get going. They'll also be looking for a big performance on the mound from Shane Bieber, the 30-year-old starting tonight. He was brought in at the trade deadline from Cleveland just for moments like this to perform in big pressure games, to show his best when it counts the most, be a calming presence in the locker room. Jays manager John Schneider just spoke, saying he has trust in Bieber, and I'm sure Jays fans do as well, or at least they're crossing their fingers right now.
Well, we know a little something in Ottawa about the blue and white descending and taking over a home stadium. We like to see it in this case, but talk about that pressure for just a moment, if you can. A big celebration following the defeat of the Yankees. Was it anticipated there might be a little letdown, or does it really come down to numbers and, as you say, the hitters not performing in the way they had in that first series?
You know, it's been surprising in that to get past the Tigers, the Mariners took 15 innings in that marathon game. They were expected to be exhausted. They had a long travel day after that, and the Blue Jays were so much fresher. And then out of the gate, it just didn't happen. And I think people are scratching their heads here at the ballpark and around North America, with Jays fans wondering what has happened. And as we said, it does start with offense tonight and on the mound, hoping to turn that around in that fickle, magical, mystical thing in the sports world called momentum. The Jays need some of that, and they need to find it on the road, playing 3 in a row on the road, the 5th game if necessary. They'll need 2 of 3 here to bring things back to Rogers Centre.
Canada will be watching tonight. Andrew, thank you very much for this. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Well, just ahead, an elderly woman targeted by a distraction theft earlier this year has been gifted a new ring. We'll share that heartwarming story after the break. Jackie.
Well, thanks, Patricia. The sunshine providing some warmth, but as the sun sets, you'll definitely want those extra layers or even a light jacket for this evening. Overnight lows about 3 degrees with a few clouds in sight. Tomorrow, we're only getting to a daytime high about 13, but we are in for more sunshine as well. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, looking towards Kawaki Point. The sun already starting to set. It's about 10 degrees out there right now.
Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Ottawa police are warning residents about an increase in distraction thefts across the city this year. In August, we brought you the story of a 90-year-old Ottawa woman sitting outside her retirement residence when her valuable ring was stolen right off her finger. A local jewelry company saw her story and stepped in today, surprising her with a brand new ring. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
Oh my God.
Isn't it beautiful?
Terry Thompson thought she'd never see a ring like this on her finger again.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
The 90-year-old receiving this brand new aquamarine and diamond ring after hers, a gift from her late husband, was stolen in a distraction theft in August.
This was our opportunity of just doing something special for her, replacing this piece that was so important to her. But it's kind of, we understand the value.
The owner of La Maison d'Or Jewelers stepping in after his daughter Alex saw Thompson's story on CTV News.
I know you're capable of custom making one that looks similar. Would you be down? I knew he would be down, and sure enough, he was like, absolutely, I'm on it.
Their team spending the last several weeks designing and making the piece.
So we actually upgraded the ring a little bit. We put in the aquamarine genuine in the center. We put 2 synthetic diamonds on the shoulders in 14 karat, and then we engraved in it with Love Bill, which was the original engraving.
The ring is valued around $6,000. Thompson's daughter says their family is grateful for the generosity.
La Maison d'Or has been amazing. That my mother has had such support from them, and to make her day like this, it's incredible.
And from Thompson, a heartfelt thanks.
Beautiful people. You know, it's nice to see that there's still some people like that around, because life is so short.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
That is beautiful. Well, after a stretch of above seasonal temperatures, fall weather has returned. A chilly day, but sunny in the capital, and there is some rain in the forecast later this week, which, as you heard earlier in the show, not a bad thing for people who are desperate for rain. We've had a lot of sunny, dry weather, and if you rely on a well, you need that rain. So some, but not a lot, really, in the forecast, Jackie.
Yeah, and the greatest chance for rain will likely be Sunday into Monday. So, yeah, we are anticipating some precipitation for Saturday, but really it's the Sunday, Monday that we were likely to get the widespread rainfall. But first, let's take a look at what we are anticipating for the next 2 days. Now, clear conditions For our Thursday, getting into our morning, nothing but sunshine for really all of eastern Ontario. This will carry on into our Friday. Yeah, there might be a little bit of cloud cover moving through, especially down by Kingston, a little bit by Pembroke, and we are anticipating a little bit of wet weather activity moving through late overnight Friday into Saturday, but it'll be very quick and very brief. As we look at temperatures right now at 10 degrees, we got to a daytime high of about 13. We had a little bit of a little breeze as well, and that will maintain into our Thursday afternoon. Now across the region, tonight's lows really sitting below or around the freezing mark. So we have 1 degree here in Ottawa, 0 in Cornwall, Brockville 2 degrees, Bancroft sitting at -3 for the overnights, what's anticipated. So really across the region, we are sitting slightly below seasonal for our overnight lows. As we look towards tomorrow's highs, this will maintain around seasonal. 13 really across the board, 15 in Kingston, as 13 degrees in Petawawa, but we mentioned the sunshine will carry on into our Friday. Now across the region, we have that Arctic chill moving in from the north at 9 degrees in Fredericton for this evening right now. 12 degrees in Ottawa, a lot warmer in Windsor where it was 15 degrees. There's a little bit of that warm air mass moving through the Midwest, but it's not going to quite make it to the prairies where temperatures are below at 10 degrees. So 8 degrees in Saskatoon, Edmonton sitting at 9 degrees, but Vancouver getting lots of sunshine and 13 degrees. Now this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Now tomorrow we've got the Sens game, 7 o'clock. We will be there as well. So temperatures going to a daytime high of 13 degrees, loving these fall-like conditions. Sunshine will continue for our Friday where the daytime high is 14. We are trending for the weekend much warmer, 20 degrees by the time we get to Sunday. But yeah, when we talk about that rain, it is anticipated for that Sunday into Monday and well into our Tuesday. So Patricia, we're going to take it back to you in studio.
Pretty good fall forecast overall, Jackie. Thank you very much. And yeah, when you think fall, you think Halloween. It's just around the corner. Many people are starting to put their decorations up, and we want to showcase some of the city's most creative homes. So we're going to go from this fall look right here to something that's a little more like this, Halloween spooky. So pictures of your home decked out for Halloween, we would love to see them. We will showcase them right here online in a gallery, maybe even send someone with the initials JP out to your house if it looks good enough in Halloween week. Ottawa Photos at ctv.ca. Submit now, as easy as that.
This is what was the core values for creating these masterpieces.
Well, just ahead, Supreme Court of Canada justices get a fashion makeover as the court marks its 150th anniversary. We'll have a look at the new robes designed in Quebec. Well, the Supreme Court of Canada is marking its 150th anniversary with the unveiling of a new look. Justices will no longer wear the iconic red and white Santa robes, the court ditching those for a modern and simple design created by a company in Saguenay, Quebec. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin traveled to the region to see the handiwork firsthand.
In the heart of the Saguenay, there's a made-to-measure shop called Rabat-Joie that got a tall order. It was entrusted with creating new robes for the 9 justices of Canada's Supreme Court. The mission was to thread the needle between tradition and renewal.
No fur. We use silk, pure silk.
The old robes, called Santa suits by some, had been the court's ceremonial vestments for a century and a half. This is how one justice described them.
They're awful. They're so hot. They're heavy. At some point, there's 2 or 3 layers of fur.
And so as the Supreme Court marked its 150th anniversary, it reached out to Romane Legalou, who started a career in creating jurist wear outfitting her friends in law school.
Because the brand was bold, was original, and was different. So they wanted to speak about a secret project.
That launched Legalou and her team on a year-long project of designing and fabricating new robes. Miriam Herrera is the technical chief of the workshop, a seamstress originally from Nicaragua who had sewn wedding dresses and evening gowns for Miss World contestants before finding a new home here. It's quite complicated to work with the fine silk, she says, for the pattern to look flawless. Gone is the white fur and red suits. In are the black robes, elaborately embroidered with the court's crest, lined with red piping as a nod to the Canadian flag. At their debut earlier this month, Chief Justice Richard Wagner called the design modern, simple, distinctly Canadian.
And this is what was the core values for creating these masterpieces.
And now this yarn of the Supreme Court robes is part of the fabric of this region, a point of pride.
And now the shop here in the Saguenay is hoping to make a seamless transition to many more markets right across the country. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Saguenay, Quebec.
Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. Ottawa residents will soon have to pay a service fee to pay some bills through pre-authorized debit payments. The new 55-cent service fee will apply to pre-authorized debit payments for property taxes and water bills. It will start in January. The city says the fee will go to recovering the cost of administering the service to taxpayers.
And finally touched up by the Predators. And Ottawa is going to have a two-man advantage for 37 seconds as Tkachuk is incensed with Roman Josi.
Well, the Sens will be playing tonight's game in Buffalo without captain Brady Tkachuk after he was injured during Monday's home opener. He suffered a hand or wrist injury after being cross-checked into the boards. According to TSN, Sens owner Michael Andlauer says he's getting a second opinion on his injury and should know tomorrow whether surgery is required. Puck drop tonight is 7 p.m.
Sabrango has showed some edge.
And the Sens have lost defenseman Donovan Sabrango. The Florida Panthers have claimed him off waivers. That move coming hours after the Panthers head coach announced defenseman Dmitry Kulikov would be out 5 months due to wrist surgery. The 23-year-old Ottawa native has appeared in 2 of the Sens' 3 games this season and 2 games with the team last year. Well, according to a new Royal LePage report, Ottawa home prices are expected to rise 2% by the end of this year compared to the same time last year. The report finds the total cost of a home in Ottawa remained flat in the third quarter at an average of around $774,000. That's expected to rise to nearly $786,000 in the next 3 months.
We're talking about over $600 million worth of money staying in people's pockets, so it's pretty huge.
Well, no one wants to get stuck with their bank account in overdraft. If you do, you could get hit with an NSF fee of $48. But after many complaints, changes are coming. That story just ahead.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, if you pay a bill and there's not enough money in your account to cover the transaction, you could get hit with a non-sufficient funds charge, known as an NSF fee. They're a major cause of frustration for some because even if your account is $1 short, you could have to pay a $48 penalty. But as CTV's Pat Boren reports, that's changing.
I think that I'm not the only one that's dealing with this.
Elvira Townsend of Surrey, BC says she always tries to pay her bills on time, but recently her bank balance dropped to minus $9. She was immediately charged an NSF fee of $48, putting her account $57 in arrears.
I was very stressed out because I'm on disability and right now money is very tight.
Townsend says she applied for overdraft protection in the past, but her bank denied her because she had a lower credit score.
I know there's a lot of people struggling. I'm struggling, and that $48 is a lot.
Currently, Canada's major banks charge $45 to $48 per NSF transaction. The charges have helped banks profit billions of dollars since they were first implemented.
These fees tend to hit the people who can least afford them.
Changes to the fees will happen March 12th of next year. There will be a $10 cap on NSF fees. Banks can't charge more than one NSF fee within 72 hours. There can be no NSF fee if an account is short by less than $10, and banks must alert customers and give them time to deposit funds before charging an NSF fee. The Credit Counseling Society says 34% of Canadians are charged with at least one NSF fee each year.
We're talking about over $600 million worth of money staying in people's pockets, so it's pretty huge.
This is something positive.
Acorn Canada, a group that advocates for low and moderate income people, has been fighting for the reforms. Well, it says lowering the fees from $48 to $10 is a good start. It says Canadian banks should follow the lead of American banks. Many have scrapped NSF fees altogether.
We should be taken off completely, like they did in USA. And the banks are still going. The banks are still making profit.
Townsend is hopeful more changes can be made to help her and others be eligible for overdraft protection. Pat Foran, CTV News.
We're getting another look tonight at how American tariffs are affecting Canada. Manufacturing sales for August dropped by 1%. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
Sales fell in 12 of the 21 subsectors tracked by Statistics Canada, coming in at $69.4 billion. And that's a drop from the July number of $70.3 billion. Transportation equipment had the steepest decline, with fewer aerospace parts, vehicles, and car parts produced. Food sales also dropped, with less grain and dairy production. A new report by Royal LePage says it remains a buyer's market, with both home prices and interest rates down. In Toronto, the average price of a home is down 3.5% year over year, coming in at just over $1.1 million. A Deloitte report shows consumer spending is up 2% this year, but Canadians are being careful about how they spend, cutting back on discretionary items and focusing more on value. Deloitte says there is also some cautious optimism among younger consumers. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar really didn't change. It ended the day at 71.19. West Texas Intermediate crude barely budged. It sits at 58.72. Western Canadian Select is up a dime to 47.87. And the TSX moved up another 283 points today for another record high close. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, just ahead, we meet our Myers Team of the Week. We'll be joined in studio by a local girls hockey team.
Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend returns May 23rd and 24th, and it's never too early to join Canada's biggest running celebration. From the full and the half marathons to the 10K, the 5K, and the 2K, there's a distance for everyone. Register early to save on fees, jumpstart your training, and get ahead on fundraising in the Desjardins Charity Challenge. Join thousands at the start line and be a part of something amazing. Visit runottawa.ca for more information.
Well, as you can see, time now for our popular segment on CTV News at 6, the Myers Team of the Week. Teams are invited to send us a video to describe why their group is the greatest. Tonight's team is the Russell Coyotes U13B. This girls' hockey team has already won a silver medal at the first tournament of the season. That's amazing. And they've built friendships on and off the ice and are showing the true spirit of teamwork. During their team fundraiser, the girls donated some big money to their local food bank. And the team joins us now in studio. Very happy to have all of you here in uniform, looking amazing. And Emma, what an incredible start to win a silver medal in your first tournament. How was that tournament?
It was really good. I feel like we developed as a team on the ice and off the ice, and we formed a lot of bonds, and we're really coming together.
It almost sounds like you like the hockey as much as you do the time together at a tournament, because I know that's really fun too, right?
Yeah, we did a lot of things together and we formed a lot of bonds.
I love that. Okay, so you've been playing hockey for quite a while, Emily.
3 years.
Yeah, nice. 3 years. That's awesome. And this is a competitive group.
Yep.
And you are going to get some money here today. What do you want to do with that money? Do you have a sense?
I think just working together for on and off the ice development in our team would be really good.
Okay, awesome. And Ella Rose, is that what you're thinking too, development?
Yes.
Yes. And some of the money that you guys gave to the food bank, how did that come about?
I think we were raising for our team, but also giving back to the community, because we're very lucky to be playing hockey, because hockey's a lot of money, and there's people that are less fortunate than us. So was to give back to them for stuff that they needed.
$500.
Yes.
Yeah, that's big. And yeah, if you can't afford to put food on the table, you're not able to buy hockey equipment for your kids, right? So it is a privilege to get out there on the ice. And Myers, of course, Colin is here from Myers, is helping teams to be able to do that and enjoy sport all across the board. How do you feel to be here supporting this wonderful girls team?
Well, on behalf of the Myers Automotive Group, we're thrilled to be presenting you guys with this check to help you in your season this year. Myers is all about giving back to the community, so we're so happy to be supporting youth sports just like you guys, the Russell Coyotes. And again, good luck with the rest of your season.
Absolutely, good luck. If you girls want to grab that check and pull it on in, feel free. $1,000, that's pretty cool. Love to be taking that home as an allowance. And if you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, you can upload your video to ctvottawa.ca.
Sarah Wilson, you entered keywords and it led to...
Wow,
$20,000. The Move 100 people are upping us in the check department. Coming up, you get a chance to meet the Ottawa resident who won this big check, $20,000 in Move's Dream Big contest. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Yeah, we are in peak of fall mode, and have you had a chance to check out the colorful fall leaves? Because you want to do so before the start of early next week. We are anticipating more rain on the way. It's already peaking in Algonquin and Gatineau. Most of the colors have already turned as well, so lots of time to check out the wonderful fall colors. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Look at this gorgeous shot of Parliament Hill and Chateau Laurier, 10 degrees. Live look through downtown Ottawa as the sun continues to set.
Pure Country 94 wants to send you to Sandals South Coast in Jamaica. We're giving away an all-inclusive Caribbean vacation for two every weekday. Listen for your chance to win. Pure Country Passport with Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean.
Tomorrow on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, the Ottawa Pops Orchestra is celebrating the music of Danny Elfman, and we get a preview. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. The Floor, shifting gears, back-to-back episodes of George and Mandy's first marriage and The Amazing Race. Well, here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
5 years, 8 nays.
That fails.
After lengthy debate, an attempt to remove the controversial Tewin development from the city's official plan fails at a city committee.
I think they should help us with getting some water delivery out here for us. We shouldn't have to be paying for it.
Many residents in rural Ottawa living with little or no water after their wells ran dry following months of below-average rainfall.
They're being shown the door by Stellantis, who's being bullied by the Trump administration. And it's going to hurt. It's going to sting.
Devastating news for Ontario's auto sector as Stellantis announces it will move production of its Jeep Compass from Brampton to Illinois. Well, final check on the forecast. We do have some very typical fall weather on the way. A little bit of showers in there as well.
Were you cold today?
It's a little chilly for me.
Take a look at what tomorrow morning is going to look like if you head out the door at 7 a.m. 2 degrees to start, but we are getting the sunshine that will carry us into all of our Thursday and even to our Friday. So if you're heading to the Sens game, daytime high 13 degrees, but you'll want that jacket when the game is over and the sun has set. -1 is the overnight low into Friday. And then things are going to trend warmer as we get into the weekend. 16 for our Saturday, 20 for our Sunday. But with this comes the chance of some heavy rainfall, and that's really anticipated for our Sunday, Monday, and take a look, it extends into the middle of the week. Patricia, take advantage of the next 48 hours, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And whatever time of year, that walk to the car from the CTC, always the coldest walk anywhere in the city, it seems. All right, we want to check in and see what our news team is working on tonight. Austin Lee is here, working on the 11:30. Austin?
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. A couple things we're keeping an eye on. First and foremost, we'll be following the OCDSB meeting. That's underway right now. Robert Plamondon is there, and we're hoping to hear from some more parents tonight. We'll also have the very latest on a real tragic situation in Overbrook where a child was struck by a dump truck this afternoon. What we do know is the child is under 10 years old and was rushed to hospital in critical condition. Again, waiting for any updates on that front. So you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, Austin, thank you. And finally for us tonight, as we know, for the past month, move stations across the country have been giving away big money, $20,000 a week to a lucky listener. And another Ottawa resident just won the grand prize.
Sarah Wilson, you entered keywords and it led to...
Wow,
$20,000.
That's a pretty good check flip right there. Sarah Wilson, this week's winner of Move's Dream Big contest. Move 100's Jeff and Sophie out to present the $20,000 check to her this morning. She's a mom of two and shared just what she's going to do with the money.
I actually I heard the announcement for the contest, and I said, oh, that's funny, tuition happens to be around that much, let me try. And I've been entering, and then so probably going to pay off tuition, honestly. Nothing super exciting, but it makes all the difference for us for sure. It's a weight lifted off my shoulders for sure.
Pay off the tuition. I don't feel like any of us would be as responsible with the money. Move 100 giving away keywords every weekday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The grand prize, $20,000. There's a daily bonus prize of $1,000, but the contest all wraps up this Friday. Yeah, 20,000. I mean, it's not a huge amount.
But very
it's
responsible.
A lot. Probably
Very
a great
responsible.
vacation. Yeah.
For how many people, though? Because I thought about what vacation? How many people can you bring on this vacation?
Or how many countries in Europe can you hit? Yeah.
Put it all on red, double it, then you can go to all of
you
them.
see, this sounds like what my son would do. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's see if we can make this bigger.
It's a good thing I didn't win it.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's much more deserving.
We're not eligible, but you still have a day. All right, these guys are winners for sure. This group of wonderful hockey players joining us in studio today. You can do that too. We'd love to see you here. Have a great season.